Linda's Pantry, and today, well, it's time. As you guys saw in the last video, I showed you how I get all set up for my canning session, and here I am. I am getting ready to can apple pie filling, only I'm going to add a different spin on it, and I am doing cranberry apple pie filling. So it's a cran apple pie filling, or actually it's an apple cranberry, because it's not going to be more cranberries than apple, but absolutely delicious. I hope that you try this, and I will bring you along in the next video and show you the end result and how the pie comes out. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna can apple pie filling, and as I told you, I'm using the Amish cookbook, and I will link a copy of, if you don't have this book has been invaluable to me. So this is on page 136, the apple pie filling. And it starts out with 6 quarts. So I'm going to use a 1 quart jar. As I fill it, then I can put that into the acidulated water, or the water with the fruit fresh in it, so the apples don't turn brown. This is a combination of Honeycrisp and Tango apples, and Tangos are a little bit sweeter, but have that crisp bite. I'm also using Honeycrisp apple cider, and I've got all my lids and sugar and clear gel, and I'm ready to start peeling and coring apples. All right, guys, if you're ready. Okay, in my big 12-quart pot, I've got 5½ cups of sugar and 1½ cups of clear gel. Okay, you want to mix this around and kind of incorporate it, otherwise it's going to clump up when you add the other stuff. So, okay. Whew. And then we need some seasoning in here. I need a tablespoon of cinnamon, and I do a heaping tablespoon because I love cinnamon. So I also do some cardamom, and I'm going to take the lid off here and give it about a ½ teaspoon, let's do a full teaspoon of cardamom. Gives a little floral note. It's delicious. I use it whenever I can. And then this is allspice. Again, maybe a quarter to a ½ teaspoon of allspice. And nutmeg. It calls for a teaspoon. I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, that's about it, about a ½ of a whole nutmeg. Get this all mixed up together, and that's going to be the base here. Okay, then we're going to get to the apple juice, and it calls for apple juice and water, or the option is all apple juice. So this is the Honeycrisp apple cider. We're going to need 7½ cups of liquid, and fish out your whisk. 7½ cups, so that was 2, and there's 4, 6. Oh, perfect, 7½. Okay, so now we know. I guess I could have done the math. So we're gonna get this all mixed in. I'm gonna put this on the stove until it starts to thicken up really well. Then I'll add my lemon juice, which is 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. I've done it where I've added it in at this point and it works just fine, but I'm gonna wait till it starts to thicken and then I'll add it in. Okay, off to the stove we go. Okay, if you've never worked with clear gel, you're gonna start out with this looking a lot like caramel sauce or caramel juice, if you will. It is starting to thicken a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my lemon juice. I know the recipe calls for you to add it later, but I like to add it right now. I don't want it kind of displaced in the recipe. That's gonna make sure that we have enough acidity to balance out, but both cranberries and apples are full of acid, so good. What a holiday favorite. Okay, as soon as this gets thick enough and I quit splashing, I will bring you back and we'll add the apples. Okay, here we go. So it's thickened, you can see that, it's thick and it's starting to bubble. We're gonna dump the apples into our mixture, and our cranberries are coming next. Still had a little bit of water, I didn't want to dump that. Alright, and we're going to do 3 cups of cranberries to this all at once. Get them in there. Oh, if you've never had cranberry apple pie, you don't know what you're missing. So we're going to coat all of this as good as we can. It's kind of a workout. Okay, so we're gonna get that, you get the picture. I'm gonna coat everything and get it all into the gel evenly, and we'll then get to fill in our jars. All right, so we have our apples here. Oh, let's bring it a little bit closer. With the cranberries, and as you're turning them into your stuff, a couple of your cranberries might pop. It's just gonna make this gorgeous anyway, and taste wonderful. So we're gonna get our apple mixture, and as you're getting it out of the pot, kind of stir it around so you're getting some of that gel. You want to do, it calls for 1 inch of headspace, but this, the gel swells a lot. If you've ever canned pie filling, you'll know what I'm talking about. It swells beyond belief, and so you want to make sure you've given yourself plenty of room. We're gonna get our poking stick down in here. I think we got room for another one or two. At least some good gel. Maybe a small one. Do I have a small one? There we go. I think that ought to do it. We'll see how that came out. It might be too much. You know what? I'm going to take that right back out, and it can go in here. I think that's plenty. So get around there. So just, you know, to the top of the shoulder of the jar. You don't want to go any further, because if you do, you're going to end up losing a seal because of how much it swells. So take and wipe the rim of your jar, same as usual, right? Let's see, we got a Tattler, and these jars are coming straight out of the canner. So, all right. Hot water, because of the Tattler lids, you're gonna center, make sure your gasket's on there. You're gonna center it onto your jar, right? Tighten it and back off a quarter of an inch. And then we're gonna go ahead and put it over in the canner. Isn't that pretty? It's just gonna be delicious. It's like jewels in a jar. All right, to the canner it goes. Wait. Okay guys, so this made enough for 7 quarts plus a pie. So my measurements were a little bit off, even though I tried to be as accurate as possible. So I'm gonna make a pie, and I'll probably videotape it so you guys can see how pretty this pie comes out. But 7 quarts, whether you're canning quarts or pints, the timing is the same, and for me, it's 30 minutes. It tells you the difference in altitude, so if you're not sure of your altitude, you wanna check that. If it's above 1,000 feet, then the timing goes up. So be sure and check your resources, and I'll try to leave this recipe for you guys. We've got, I'm not sure if it's up and running yet for you, but it's in the works. I'm gonna have a blog where I will be able to post recipes for you and pictures and all those things, and you'll be able to see and copy or print any of the recipes that I do. All right, guys. I'll see you back in 30 minutes.